Sorry. Hey, I'm here early, which is a miracle all by itself. We just kind of percolate here for a minute. I will catch my breath. What in the world is that? What in the world is that? Oh. Might be volume feedback, you think? Hey, Carol. I came close to forgetting today, but I'm glad I didn't because I actually relaxed doing these. I think it's because not focused on anything else. And what happens? My nose starts running. Turn everything off. I'll have the watch for that reason. Yes, the best of times. And I have allowed myself to be real lazy the past few years. I figured I earned it. Paying for it now, though. But I know what got us into this tax fix. What in the world is that? Oh, that's a jelly plate plastic. Okay, that's not going to work. We're going to try this. I'm going to try this. And I got my first ones too running. But I dropped my, oh shoot, what do you call it? Mortar and pestle. And broke the pestle part, and this came off. So I'm gluing it back on because I know some of you saw my Muller, and it's enough to make a professional amount of stuff. I can't imagine who needs one. Let's take this baby on there. Maybe it'll stay until the glue settles. I bought it during a period of being unwell. Didn't know what it was for, but thought it was cool. So there you have it. I bet I'm not the only one that does that. Okay, water jug up. I made one before we came on just to see if I had the general idea. Those spots are oil paint, so they're not going anywhere. Filled overflowing, and then I realized, hey, you can fill 2 pans. Way watery. Let me get this up and then I'll say hi. Then I start saying hi. This is going to take more paper towels than I've got handy. Okay, who else is here? See if we got a glare. This thing is known for. And that glare's coming from there. Move it like that. Maybe I can move this. There. Oh, that's okay. I can't stand it. I can show you a snapshot. I've worked on it 2 days now. Okay, we're just going to do this for a minute because I don't think that half of this crew follows me, but glare. Can you see that? Hey, Sharon. Anyway, this is, did you see that, Carol? Trying to find it where it's not. Anyway, this is wood burning pyrography, and I'm doing that underneath it. Not for any reason, and can't really find anybody else that does that, and it probably won't show, but I'm doing it just because I wanted to. All right, here's the first, let's see, what time is it? Almost 4 o'clock. Carol, yeah, there's a lot of things I can't do, and there's even more things I can't do well. But the only way to get good at them is just to try it. No, seriously, that's the only way to do it. And I think that with all the mediums I've worked with or media I've worked with, I never know when to pluralize that and when not to. It all kind of starts being similar. It's just the device or the material you deliver the paint to a surface with. So what I've learned in mixed media is just do it, try it, and you'll surprise yourself. I hadn't done wood burning since I was a kid. So that's at least 50 years ago. Oh my God, I'm not ready to be that old. So I just thought, what the hell, I'll try it. And if it doesn't work or doesn't look good, it'll be covered with encaustic anyway. And if I like it when I get done, I think I've got about another 3 or 4 hours on this part of it. If I like what I've got done, then I'm going to play with transparent layers of encaustic to see how much of it I can make show. Does that make sense? And if it doesn't, several layers of encaustic is pretty opaque anyway, so it'll cover. Alrighty. I saw Rosemary. Hey, Rosemary, count me in for Saturday. Carol, yeah, I pretty much identify with Jack of all trades, master of none. I just got this huge curiosity for trying new things, and the flip side of that is that I get bored easy. So with all the things I've got to do or choices that I have, I don't get bored near as often as I used to. Anyway, I think I showed you guys. Put that pot of water up. I am gradually getting this studio cleaned up and organized. And I've got the other half of my work table over there set up for encaustic. And I traded chairs. The chair over there was just a regular desk height chair. Well, this thing that I'm sitting on is on top of one of those stainless steel kitchen carts, and the handle is on that end. So I needed the chair that raised up a little bit like the one I'm sitting in to be comfortable over there. So that was like a Chinese puzzle on Saturday, trying to get the chair, move one wheel and then lift it on the other side and pull it forward to get one of the chairs out and the other back in. But I did it. Carol, the other thing that was funny is that I have all the wood burning tools for encaustic to make marks in wax. Well, as I was starting a little bit of research on pyrography, is that how you say it? Pyrography. I found that there's a super tool that only costs $200 that's better than any hobby tool you can get. So I immediately said, nope. I'm going to make this work. Unless I'm doing something that really shows. I mean, you know, where that's the end result. My plug came out on my iPad. I don't know what fell, but the water bottle. And the lid came off. Hang on. Best laid plans of mice and men. And I was ready. Let me go get some more water. I'll be right back. All right, I have water. Sure would like to find the lid. Okay, don't need it. Okay, have I fooled around long enough to get some more people in? Yeah, hi to everybody lurking. Be sure and give it a thumbs up. Some of us need all the help we can get. Okay. This is my collection of earth pigments. And I got these because they are natural earth pigments, actually ground up clays and rocks. And they're by Earth Pigment. Natural umber. I think I talked about this the other day. Earth Pigments And I got them because they were natural. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money at that particular time on alizarins and ultramarine blues and that sort of thing. But these are good, and I got them for encaustic. So I got well, I can't tell you. It's a small jar. Doesn't tell me how much, and this doesn't tell me how much. I got the introductory pigment set for $32, so I know that had at least 6 or 8 in it. And then I got the, let's see if this has a mark on it, 100 grams. I mean, that's enough powder to last forever. That just doesn't tell us. If that's 100 grams, this may be 25. Maybe. Okay. So just for grins, and this does not have mica. But we can do mica. So I'm just going to mix up a couple of these. I did the yellow, lemon yellow, and it is lemon yellow. It is fairly opaque. I mean, not opaque, but transparent. And let's mix up a blue. This is India blue, which is not a classic pigment name. You got to be careful because sometimes these things have a lot of dye in them, and if they do, they're not suitable for anything but craft projects or journals or stuff like that. And I don't know what I'm doing, so I've just watched a lot of videos. Let's see, where did that thing go? These are my all-natural, undyed, unbleached baby diapers from Bird's Eye. Somebody on the World Wide Web said that it was the thing to have for watercolor because you don't. This is this is like a 3-ring circus today. Every day. I know. Come on, shut up. You don't have to give my secrets away. The medium that I'm using is the Holbein Gum Arabic medium. Best I can tell, it contains gum arabic and a preservative. First thing I did was break one edge of the lid, you know, where it hooks onto the bottle. I knew I was going to do that. I need to calm down and again. Oh, well, it'll just be a little watery. I can add some more powder. Don't do as I do. I need the lid to this dang spray bottle is what I need. Well, at least blue is a pretty color. There have been so many people doing this. I'm surprised anybody even wants to see it anymore. Now, these will be solid color. They won't have mica. And it is such a fine powder. And of course, I didn't want to get out my Jethro Muller because it covers this whole plate. I use it for bookend. And since this is ground so finely, I don't think there's that much of a need to grind it to get the pigment smaller, but there is a need to make sure that each little particle of pigment is covered with medium. In other words, it's consistent. That makes about 6 total. I haven't needed anything from Kramer because I've ordered pans from them forever since I did that big watercolor organization. Or I would have just gone ahead and gotten their medium. I mean, why invent the wheel? But I had this. It's just really not worth trying to find your own formula. And you can, but it's not worth it. They've already done the science on it. And a little drop of glycerin and a little drop of diluted honey would be fine to add. But we're going to just see how this works by itself. And this is going to take about 14 days to dry out. Who's here? Judy. Yeah, if I'm going to spend my time working on something serious, I'm going to have the best I can afford. But for journaling, I sure do like the pre-mixed colors, like the Davenports and the Primas. It's so much fun if you're in a journal playing and you don't have to stop and mix a color. There. Now I saw Dee Dee doing this, and I'm not real sure. Not Dee Dee, Patty doing this. I'm not real sure why. Again, it's all about the consistency, and mine is thick because I spilled that little extra water. I watched live videos all weekend. Watched every one of Patty's. 2 of them I caught live. One of them happened before I got up. I'm going to take a chance. Since this is the closest thing I have to a glass ball and it's rounded, I'm just going to do it. Y'all having fun. Let's see. Lay that down. Pick that up. I'm surprised at how little it takes to make a pan. This looks like a Verditer blue. It's a real pretty blue. I'm going to put that up there on the little shelf. Just the way the days go and I'll spill it. Again, these are earth pigments. Apparently, they even have a licensing agreement with some of the mines in Italy and France, where the last of the real siennas and umbers live. I'll do that. Okay, 2 pans. That was almost my computer. Move that around to scotch it in just a little bit. Whew, that was close. Transparent. It's a pretty color. This is India Blue. Hey, Peg. Hey, Peg. It's a pig. I'm just here making a mess. These are earth pigments. A watercolor artist without a spray bottle is not going to cut it. And if I have one, I probably have 4. These are plain. There's no mica in them. That might need to be cleaned. What do you think? I'm going to put a little water down first. Peg, I dropped my water bottle just as we went live and the top came off and I can't find it. I don't know where it is in general vicinity. Well, let's do some of this pretty green. This is turquoise green. Everybody's favorite. This is where I went wrong before. Being with y'all is so relaxing. I'd forgotten about how much fun it was while I was doing my other big project. Back over there. We're going with it. That's what I did before. I meant to do this yesterday, at least make one, so I'd know what kind of a big mess I'm making. The least professional powder mixer in the whole world. I feel like Barbara Streisand and Funny Girl. Not that she ever mixed pigment, but you know what I mean. That's going to take forever to for the water to evaporate. The only thing about these for, good use, professional use, is that they don't tell you on the bottle what the pigments are, so you don't know what they mix to get this turquoise. In a perfect world, they would be single pigment, but you take what you can get, right? So if any of you are real pigment mixers, please don't laugh at me. Especially if Patty or Xander happen to drop in. Good news is I've almost got the studio managed. Ha ha. Carol, you're funny. We're gonna try this. We'll try this little one, but I just don't have much contact. No way I would want to do this every day. I've got some pig. I haven't really used it. I've also got Winsor Newton's iridescent medium, which would be something better to try than what I had in mind. And I think I know right where it is. As hot as it is today, I could probably let this evaporate some on the palette. Pigment is pigment. It's got the medium in it. Hey, Pandora. Wait a minute. What did I miss about the meat tenderizer? Funny thing about falling in love with all the iridescence and the color shifts. And I once saw a major judge not pick a painting for an award because she used some iridescent pastels in the accents. It wasn't pure enough. Okay, that's going to be a big pan. I'm kind of a get in a hurry kind, I want it now kind of person, so I'm not exactly a chemist who could do this and sell it. When are we all going to start using all this stuff that we're making? We'll never use up all that we've got. Well, no, I won't. But we all know how to go back to the ground and find some pigments, don't we? Got 2 out of that. Oh my goodness. These won't be hard to label. Yeah, that's thin. I bought that Mueller back when I was just starting. Saw it on eBay and thought I needed it. About the same time that I bought these calligraphy brushes. And I just, in the last year, found out how to use those. I love them now. That was some raw pigment right there. I'm going to make a couple more and then we're going to quit. Go on to something else. Like I said, I bought this for encaustic. And there you can just dump it in the medium, or you can put your brush into the medium, the clear and caustic medium, and then dip it into the brush, and it works that way. Okay. I'm going to make one more dig into this pit. How does stuff just disappear? Ah, found it. It fell back on the bottom shelf, back behind something else. Ah, good. Look, I got it. I'm back in business. I don't even want to think about what got wet down there. This is the Strathmore watercolor journal, so it is made out of cellulose and not cotton, so it's not going to have the same properties. This one's called Sky Blue. Let's do one of the greens. Pistachio green, that's a good one. Okay, see what's going on. Sure, I can do that. See if I can do a better job this time since I've got a lid. I mean, a sprayer. We don't really need as much as I've been making. I don't need 2 pans of each one. Peacock green. I'm glad you mentioned the iridescent medium tag. Because that's all they've done there is take a mica and mix it up like we're doing here, except not adding the color. That's a pretty green. That's the Holbein Gum Arabic Medium. And as I was telling everybody a minute ago, I don't know what's in it except preservative. But I'm not going to get too crazy about this. That's one of my challenges, is to not get in there and learn all the chemistry, because that's what I love to do. In fact, sometimes I think I'd rather study than actually try to do something. This little spot right here is oil. So it's not going anywhere until I get a razor blade after it. And I am mixing on this palette for another reason. I have a glass mat, but this is neutral gray. So if you're familiar with value chart, this is about a 5. So that gives you a head start on how dark your color should be. And I will get out my handheld labeler and label these. And I need to spend an afternoon or two putting watercolors in my storage system. That was a better amount of paint. See? Where is it? There it is. I've got my lights turned so you don't see a glare, and now you don't see the... I'll show you when we get through. Brush. See, I want to do a wet mark first. This reminds me of one of the Daniel Smith Promotex. Seeing a little bit of granulation here. A little bit there. I'm going to do one more and then we're going to quit. Unless y'all want me to make more. That's all we've been watching for a week now. Bye, Peg. I'm seeing a lag, of course. That's what everybody talked about all weekend. Let's do this purple. That's an unusual color. I got enough in these boxes, in these jars, to last forever. This one is called Lavender Blue. Trying to keep them so that I'll know which ones I used for sure. This is pretty. I gotta quit buying stuff. I find stuff in here that cleaning up, organizing. Oh, I won't be a bit surprised if I don't find duplicates too before this great cleanup is done. Beautiful color. They just don't tell you whether this is single pigment or whether they mixed a blue and red. Almost looks like Rose of Ultramarine. Pretty. By Thursday, when I'll stream again, we'll find out how my sloppy ass job worked. Okay. Looks more blue than purple right now. So far, these are all really transparent. The turquoise one up there might be a little bit. It's almost an ultramarine color. Come on, baby, move for me. All right, we'll take a look at that here in just a minute. Clean this off. I think this bird's eye diaper is going to need to be swished in the toilet before it goes in the washing machine. Okay. Okay. Move that where it belongs. Move these over here. And I'm going to move this baby out of the way because I don't want it to knock the computer over. and move this glass mat out of the way. Oh my goodness, I was working on the wrong side of that palette and I scratched right through it. I'll be ding dong damned. Oh well, I can fix that with a little coat of Vicki Ross. You ought to have your butt whipped. I mean, that stuff costs good money, honey. Okay, I'll quit chastising myself. Alrighty, I did 5 beautiful colors. And I did 1 yellow. See if I can move the fan back. I mean the light back. I did 2 of these blues. Turquoise. These are gonna evaporate down to nothing. And I did this green and this purpley blue. See? Spill. So there you have it. Well, my camera's way out here today. It's because I reorganized and started putting my encaustic setup across from me. Let me put that down and see if the light's better if I just pull the camera down. How's that, Sharon? Yeah, they're going to shrink some. This yellow is almost just like water. That's okay. And I am going to take, see if I can reach. Not that one, that's Winsor Newton paint. Put that one back. Well, I've got 2 or 3 of these, but these are high mica. But these are old too. They're like 12, 13 years old. There. I haven't used them much because they're not where I think about them. Very muchly pigment. But what I'm going to do is liquefy these and pour them into pans, and that way I'll know what I've got. The other one I have is iridescent. Should be right there with this one. Then I can put them in my cigar tins like all the others. Now I want that other one. Where are you? See, it's so old that the plastic has turned yellow. These are duochrome and interference colors. So each of these will probably fill a pan. So that's on my list too. I'm hitting my computer. All right. In fact, let's see. show y'all something else too. I've got lots of stuff here. And can't get to it. We're good. I had a couple of tubes of Daniel Smith dry up. These are pretty now. These are as pretty as any that everybody's been making. No, I didn't make these, Sharon. These are Pearl-Ex watercolor palettes. And I got them at Hobby Lobby way back in the day, 10, 12 years ago. And I'm thinking they still sell them, but of course they're a whole lot more expensive. And I probably got these on sale. I can't turn that one over because it's got water in it now. Duh. Do you ever think about stuff at night while you're sleeping and you wake up with, oh, that's a good idea. I got to remember to do that. Okay. Interference. Whoops, you better get out of here, good girl. If I only have to move 2 things to get to something, I'll do it. 1, 2. In Arabic. Granulation. We might play with that for a minute. Iridescent. How is that? Man, this is going to be so cool when I get the whole studio done. Now, here's the experiment. Look at that one's already starting to set up a little bit because that yellow one is funny. Look how really it is. Oops, this way. Okay, I'm going to put those back so I don't knock them over. Now, up and out of the way. Oh, my mama, be so proud of me. That's pretty clean. Looks like that's about as clean as it's going to get. Now, well, I shouldn't have put that away. Let's try this one. Look at the iridescent in here. Now, the reason Winsor Newton has this is so that you can make any color iridescent. So if that's the case, then having all the separate micas becomes maybe not quite as important. And that is stuck to the bottom. Does that tell you how old it is? Here's a skinny paintbrush. So this is, I mean, I could be wrong, of course, you know that. This is kind of the equivalent of acrylic polymer without the color. This is like iridescent watercolor without the color. And on the paper, if I had some black paper, see how much iridescence that has in it? Lots of mica. So probably 10 years ago, this was worth $6. It may be $8 now, but it wouldn't hurt to add a few BBs to this. I'm telling you, would you look at this, girl? BBs. I'm going to put 3. Put the lid back on. I've got beside me one of those little bitty drawers, units like for tools and screws, and it keeps all my little bitties in there. And while I don't get in it every day, it sure is nice to have it at hand. Look at that. I'm just going to put a little bit right there. I don't want to contaminate that at this point. Let's put it up here where see, you can say you learned something new from me today. Put the lid on that before you spill it. Since that's your tendency today. You can see some of the masterful mixing I did, right? Maybe that's the granulation. Who knows? You might as well use up the rest of this. Liquid purple never hurt anybody. Okay, we're going to have to leave that. I just wanted to see what kind of a flat wash that would make. That's pretty good. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing with the green. Now, if you wanted to, of course, you could clean. Let's do the turquoise. It's the one right there. Mostly water on the top. You can control the amount of iridescence this way too. And I don't expect any problem with the fact that I got too much water in these, because the water will evaporate, which make the mixture more concentrated. And the key to the medium is to make sure it holds on the page. And move this before you tilt the book, please. These are just awesome. Somebody could research that and find out if Perfect Pearl still makes these. Now then, since I got this out, I don't guess there's anything to rock and roll on that. It was right side up. For maximum effect, dilute color generously with medium alone and always work painting horizontal. I don't know what that means, but we're going to find out. Oh, I hate these childproof bottles. I'm a child, don't you know? I'm just going to put some right here. Well, that was the color I was going to use, so. Well, that's granulation, medium. That's what you pay the big bucks for on the Daniel Smith Primatech paints. We're picking up quite a bit of granulation in here. Nothing like these. These look like straight metals. We're doing pretty good there. Let's see what happens. Lid on. Let's see, do we want to do another one? The yellow won't show anything. The green might. Well, those other gals aren't going to know what they missed, are they? Ooh, I got that one concentrated. And it probably would work better if I mixed it before I put it on, but these don't seem to travel very much. I love the core, but of course they have a different proprietary binder, and man, they move. Granulate. I sound like a vampire. Love that pigment just sitting in there. Isn't that fun? Okay, so these two are iridescent, and this one and that one are granulating. Point being that if you like granulation but you don't have any, you could do this. And I don't have a price on that one, so. Any questions? The test will begin in a minute. Who's the master, Sharon? Have you been studying with somebody? I like masters. There's a clean finger. Doesn't come off. A friend of mine, Linda Wessel, bought one of the handmaids from Etsy, and it came off. And it even ghosted onto the book, onto the next page. Anyway, I need to remember that I've got these. these are in the process of melting. So any other questions? If it comes off when wiping, that just means you didn't get enough medium. And if you get too much binder, yeah, that's why for serious stuff, I'll stick to manufactured. They've got chemists, for God's sake. Yeah, they know exactly what percentage of a drop to put in something to make it work. And I guess if I do any more of these, I'm going to have to get a little Muller. Little Muller. Now this is the straight iridescent from, oh, I got this out to show you. I guess the plastic lid to this went its own way. Yeah, this is same. This happens to be white. Dirty water. And again, this is not a scientific test. But this is white, and I know a lot of us bought this set. And that one, I believe, is pearl. Yeah, I think that one's pearl, and this one's iridescent. And then we've got the gold and the brassy color. So if you add those to a plain color, you're going to get some fun stuff. Going to get some action. I just had the brush. Let's do this again. Let's do the iridescent. Let's put that right by that iridescent medium. And these will affect your transparency if that's a big deal for you. If it's just something good to know. And I'm gonna wait for those to dry. Let's do this gold. And I put my yellow over it. I like these paints, all right. These are the Gonzai Tombi. Here's the yellow again, mixed with it. I'm just mixing it on the paper, which is my preferred way to paint with watercolor. So there you have an example of mixing a iridescent pan or a gold with another color. And you could do the same with these. Let's do that. Let's do one. Let's do this one. See how opaque that is? Let's do our pretty green. May not be so pretty because that color is going to come across as red. Yeah, I know, Carol. I do too. I'm tempted to take them out of there and put them in my cigar tin setup so that they'll all be together. Does this brush make a difference in the painting for getting more depth? Not sure I'm following you. I'm not an expert on calligraphy, but these brushes are meant, well, that's good. That's smooth move, X-Lax. Got to get enough water on them. These brushes are meant to splay out and they bend and stay bent. So you use the brush, something under there that's repelling it. And you use the brush to do what you would ordinarily say, there's something wrong with this cheap brush. And they are cheap. And I buy a lot of them on AliExpress for next to nothing. So that's what those are designed for. And the calligraphy does. Did y'all see me demo CC demo the triangle brush, pyramid brush? It's got a triangular ferrule. And that's what I was playing with in this journal. Right here. And I was just making marks with it. This is my silver brush. And they call theirs the triangle brush. And they're not very expensive. And you can double load them, and that's what's fun. Can't really see it, but I put gold on first and then put the copper on. Triangle. Yeah, Cece did a whole lot of testing on those. Let me grab this little pot. This is one I got on AliExpress. Nice big brush. I think it might have been $10. I gotta watch because I got my good ones in here too. These are fun. If we're talking about brushes being fun, this is Cheap Joe's Lizard's Lick. No, Loose Goose. Oh well, close. Here's the Lizard's Lick. The belly of the brush and then the hairs in the middle are longer, a lot longer. Isn't that fun? It's what natural hair brushes do when they're dry. These are also cheap and they're from Cheap Joe's. Always make sure you get your natural hair brushes very wet because they will absorb more that way. See the point? This is also kind of a dagger. Sign painters used to use these a lot, or that is their tool of trade. So let's see if we can find a dry page. Here's something dry. Let's use our turquoise up here. Might help if I had some pigment in that turquoise. See how fine the lines are? But because the belly of the brush is so full, if you get it all the way down in there, it can go forever without running out of juice. Let's try this one. The secret to these is holding it like this. You have no control. And it will go and go and go and go. It's still got paint in it. I'm waiting on these to dry. Let's do the green. And again, because of the more hairs at the bottom, that means you get more paint. Thanks, Sharon. I don't know. I'm not. Can you tell? I just like to play. See, that brush does some really cool things as long as you don't choke up on it, because if you choke up on it, it's beginning to run out a little bit now, but you're controlling it more than you get a finer line if you just raise the brush and let it do the work. Let's see if I have anything else. I think those are my funnest. I've got stuff like this too. If y'all got brushes that look like that, that's for, I use that, I guess, for liquefying pastel. So you just keep those until they fall apart. That's the Isabie. Anyway, I think that's just a cool brush. I guess that's all the fun stuff I've got in here. Here's another one. No, that's Jean Haynes. I need to get these separated out again. It's okay as long as I'm the only one in here. Low Cornell dagger. See, this is a different kind of dagger. And being low Cornell, that's probably synthetic. Let's do the blue. So there's that one. Okay. I have successfully managed to spend 30 minutes just playing. Okay, granulation. A little bit. Nothing like this. This is the Pearl-Ex. Granulation here and here. I don't really see too much. Here are my mixtures. This looks like patina. That's this copper with our new green on it. Here's the iridescent with the blue. That's got quite a bit of sparkle. And that's the Gonza Tombis. And this one is supposed to be pearl. I don't really see any. This is our new yellow with the Gonza Tombi gold and with the Gonza Tombi brass. Now, if you took the time to mix those together, you might get a better look, but if you're a mixer, I'm a mixer on the paper, and the mottled effect is really kind of nice. This is kind of a baby poop greenish color. This one's nice. Did I do that with the Winsor Newton? No, I did Winsor Newton over here. So this came out of the Gonzai Tombi. That's got a lot of glimmer in it. Well, I learned something today. I hope y'all did. And those pigments that I have will work for this if I take more time with them. So we're not going to tell anybody that I flubbed it, are we? Go ahead and blot that. Okay, I'm going to go back to this little guy because I had so much fun the other day. Were y'all here when I did this Thursday? Look there. See, I'm telling you, I'm sloppy. Unless I'm working on a portrait painting, I am sloppy. And I used to do fine needlepoint too, 40 mesh silk gauze. I wasn't sloppy then. I guess it's just got something to do with getting old. Yeah, no, Carol, you want to just get right down there with them and paint with one hair. Oh, God. Yeah, I'll never tell. Let's see what else I've got in here. Tell you what, I've just about filled this little book. That's a roll-off. This is ugly. Let's see what we can do with that. Ugly. Those are just looking at some scraps I found over here. Miss Minnie, what are you doing in here, darling? Our little girl's growing up. She's 7 months old now. Oh, I just found something Shannon made for me. I need to get all that stuff put away too somewhere. I'm working on it. You ever jelly plated on fluorescent paper? Doesn't really work. Not much bang for the buck. This is a silk screen that I made. That's fun too. I'm still here. I'm just thinking. These haven't made it into my big book yet. I think they were hiding all this time under the, ooh, look at there. Pink and turquoise. Probably did them on the same day. I think these were hiding on the other side somewhere. Do I need to move the camera back up? I will. When I was doing jelly printing, I'd just start with the same colors and just see how many, just use that for the whole session. So that's how I got all these with the same colors, but that's real handy when you're doing collage. I remember when this was too, Shannon and I were doing jelly printing class at Canvas Corp. Now that's pretty, I don't care who you are. Got that pink metallic in there, and that's probably Deco Arts Rose Gold, if I were guessing, because they sent us a bunch of paint to use for that session. Some neat papers in here. Oh, and this is cool. This is one of those sheets that you get with stencils. And it comes in the package, the stencils on top of it. And I jelly printed on top of that shiny black paper, and that made pretty cool surface. Okay. That's about all that's in. Ooh. Now that one's from the other day. Yeah. That's my pile from the other day. It's always good to have a little bit of black. Look at those folders together so they'll stay out of my way. And this is black jelly printing on deli paper. So you get some real cool, what do they call that? Dendritic pulls where you do it on glass and you get this mark. That's pretty cool. Cool. Who's leaving? Carol? Bye, Carol. Okay, I'll be here Thursday. I'm not going to work too much longer, so for sure, if any of the rest of you need to kick off, certainly won't hurt my feelers. Just glad you came. I'm liking this one. This is the painter's paper that they use to tape off woodwork and floors when they paint. It's not as heavy as craft paper. Ruler upside down. I do have a little trash sack right here by my side, so it's easy to put the trash bits in it. Those pubs. Yeah, those pubs, you got to watch them. My hub does all the cooking and the shopping, so he has to tell me when it's time to eat. Yeah, no, I'm spoiled. However, I did my duty. I did my turn in the kitchen, and he loves to cook. He's more of a chef kind of guy. Likes to make things up, cook with what's in the kitchen, likes a lot of vegetables and fruit, and I don't, so we eat healthier now. Let's see if I can come up with something new, Shannon. You're making the bar awful high, but I will see what I can do. If y'all think of anything now in betweens, Classes, let me know. I'm going to take a little piece of that. And this is stuff that could be thrown away. You know, it's just not very exciting. Since I started doing this style of collaging, more of a simple style, even little bits and pieces work. There, that covers up some of the ugly. I love this Oohoo glue. Could do it this way. I think I will. Oh, I'd love to, Shannon. Is there a way for a moderator to post a picture in the comments? This is a piece of marbling I did. It's exactly what that is. I've done that too. I don't think much of anything I haven't, but I'm going to go with my first instinct. I'm just tickled that y'all enjoy watching me. See, now who'd have thought that you'd come up with a use for fluorescent paper? Jelly print experiment. I need to get back into my muted color book on Thursday. Look at this desk. I had it cleaned up when we started, and I lost my... What did you do with it? The gods are frowning. There it is. Stuck. This glue dries quick, and when it does, it's not sticky on the page anymore. Love it. About the, I enjoy the marbling, but it's the traditional method is labor intensive. So I did get the marabou colors. We need to play with that sometime. Bye, Sharon. I'll see you next time. And these are the things where I was just putting two colors together and letting them run and mix on the page. That's a really fun activity. And I do believe that these were Scenario paints because I had that tin of colors with me that day. And they don't have a whole lot of granulating colors. It's a cute little piece of paper right there. I don't care who you are. Ooh, ugly. I think we're losing everybody. There's still 9 watching. 7. We're wearing them out. Everybody has to go get dinner. That's why I love this group on the lives, because people are so sharing. You see, isn't that pretty? Who would have thought that yellow would work? I'm just going to leave that. Ooh, looky there. Perfect. Picks up the pink from that page and the green from this page with a spot of black. And that's just random, you guys. What is up with that? Really don't want to tear any of that off. The black, that is. I hope everybody's questions got answered. I was mixing and didn't pay too much attention. It's hard to do both. What else do I have? Oh, I'm sure that you've got a bunch. Well, those are clean up wax paper pages. Oh, what? That was a Miss Bitty bit. I'll look at some of those new sheets I just found. Miss Bitty Bit and Big Brother. You know, I'm thinking I need to get some ephemera that's like stickers, but not like animal, you know. I could do that. I could do a strip off of that. Make that look like homemade washi. So don't throw your packaging away, guys. This black paper is awesome. tickles me big time to know that I'm helping people, teaching what I know, paying it forward. See, that's cool washi. Look. Alrighty. It's only 5 o'clock. It feels like it ought to be about 7. And that would be probably Randy at home. Or the kids walking home from school. No, they've been in school already. Could just be somebody walking by. The kids are real good until it's about this time of night, and then they want some attention. We're hoping we get some baby mini schnauzers come January when she's old enough. Well, I mean, if she's old enough, she'll be old enough in January. I think it's 9 weeks after that, I think. If we are successful, I think the whole litter is already sold. Because these babies have perfect personalities. Of course, if you knew Randy, you'd know that they're perfectly trained too. And when he's around, I might as well not even be here. They only have eyes for him. I'm going to leave a little bit of edge there. And I'm going to bring that all the way up to the top. Making something out of nothing. That's what we're doing here. And the beauty to me is once you get it on the page, it just kind of seems like it belongs there. And y'all saw me pick it out from nothing. See, look. 3 elements and a background that was already there. Simple. I'm going to actually finish a journal. I'm still thinking about that one from the other day. I still haven't come. See, you fall in love with something like that and you don't want to cover it up. That's my problem. I've got 5 still watching, so y'all must be lurking, which is fine. If you came in late, my desk was clean when we started. I'm going to jelly a little. Lots of good stuff left on that. When I started jellying, my plates were religiously cleaned every night. And now they're not. This might be pretty with that. This is just a roll off. And I have a roller there. I don't clean my rollers. However, this stuff is known, if it gets good and wet, it is known to come off in little bits and pieces. Can't even get that down flat. Oh, that's perfect with that pink. I need more silver. All y'all that are being quiet, give me a thumbs up. You got to encourage what you like. And I hate to say it, but we all crave praise. Switch from an iPad back to a laptop and you wonder why you don't. See, look at some of that goodness just about to come off. You can't buy paper any prettier than what you make for yourself. Hi, Alina. I think everybody's worn out for today. Now, I made this jelly print at least a year ago. And look at how it matches. You know, just something I picked up today. I just think that's awesome. We did this jelly printing event 3 weeks in a row. I think I've still got some of it in my car. Poor little baby bee. I'm looking at that. Should have used a ruler. Now with deli print, you can use either side. So if you get kind of a milder look on one side, use that, which I'm going to because this matches that better. This overpowers. So if I put that one flat on the bottom, put this on top, right on the edge. Almost do that. Can you feel it? All right. It's fun, Galena. Then you make your own papers. It's kind of one of those things that it grows on you. It's a meditative process, and then you get things like this that you don't know what you're going to get from past printings. I got a dent in my thing. I need to be more careful with them. It's not too bad. I like that. And you can make your own. When we did that event, Shannon made a bunch. And they worked great. You didn't have to worry about the old ones. One of the recipes online you have to put in the refrigerator and it deteriorates after a while, but hers were great. And there you have it. It also gives you pages like this that start off with just a roller that's has paint on it and you don't want to throw it away. Love this glue. Robin McClendon kept talking about it. I thought, no, not medium. And then when I saw how flat the pages are, it just made my mind up. And I love it. This is watercolor paper, the Strathmore watercolor paper. So it's 140 pounds. It's not going anywhere wrinkle wise. Now look at that. Isn't that cool? But these kind of little books that are just drawing paper, sketching paper, look how flat they are. I never did glue that down. I don't need it there though. I got 3 things and I'm happy. Now, what are we going to do right here? Put that away. That. Use a little bit of micaceous iron oxide. And Folk Art chocolate brown metallic. Doesn't that sound good? Like a Hershey bar. And then that means I don't need that purple shimmer. Whoops. Door encountered chair. Turn around in my chair and there are my paints. I love it. You know what would go good on that? Celadon green. Just a good come on now, where are you? There it is right in front. Sure hope that was Randy. I just saw somebody go across the backyard. The Celadon green is such a good neutral. Real thin coats. Yeah, those 7-month-olds are pretty cranky when they don't get fed. We've got a grandbaby that's about 7 months old. What do I need here? That's coming off the plate. So I need some more of this. And a little bit of it. Our daughter Betsy has 5 under the age of 10, and that's going to be too much Celadon. I don't know why this golden or bright, this brown metallic isn't spreading out very good. That's better. Using it as a stamp now. Some of that goody off of it. Now, got to be real careful with this because it is liquid. Perfect. Even if I do say so myself. Now I could come back in there with some of the pink. Galena they are, and you can buy them in a smaller bottle. But honest to God, they go so far. I mean, I'll be forever using up this big bottle. And the smaller bottles, I mean, they really do last and go a long way. That's kind of cool there. Ruler down, Victoria. Well, that's where that tore off. That must be where it was meant to. The other thing I like about deli paper is that it disappears once it's glued down. I'm not much on muddy colors. That's what I need right now. everything I'm looking at. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm telling you, this black paper is awesome. Shirley printed. And that black is perfect. Gotta get my camera adjusted. That would work. I think it might be kind of cool. It's too much like that one. Okay. It's a nice color combination. And the oxide has a little bit of mica in it. I'm going to put it totally on top. That puts that thing right smack dab in the middle, Vicki. That's better. Yeah, that works. I'd like to see the person that could do any kind of this and have as clean a desk when they finish as they did when they started. I don't think it's possible. Alrighty. Look at there, look at there. We got four pages. I kind of like that neon here. It's kind of cool. And I've got a little bit of this coppery color in the background and here. And this purplish color kind of relates over here. So that makes a nice spread. And I think I'm done. Has anybody got anything to say? Any questions? I need to do some more paint drippies in Daniel Smith. This book can be finished short order. And I can cover those if I want to. Let's check our pans. Yeah, some shrinkage. What do you think? Got some on my finger. Don't want to waste anything. I'll find something glass and round, flat bottomed, before we go the next time. And I may come back and add some. Why don't you just do it now? Oh, I forgot. They go from right to left. Well, my goddess goes from left to right. There she's yelling at you. I'm quitting, Galena, so you can go back and watch the recording. And the first part of it was pretty good, where I was mixing some of my paint or powders that I have. And we talked about mica. They be done. They be done. Okay, I'm going to go. Appreciate everybody who tuned in, and those of you who are watching the rerun. This little Dog and Pony show repeats on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. The end. Oh, wait, that's Shannon Green's sign off. I'll just say goodbye. See ya. See ya. Jelly print. That's just so cool. Who'd have thunk it? Okay. I'm gone. See ya.